Hi all, I'm Sudipti Chalamala Setti. I'm actually sharing my screen. So I would like to discuss about the history of virtual synchrony replication model. I would like to take you to the contents of my presentation. Introduction, brief history on the model. What is virtual synchrony? Its key concepts, its application, research, and its impacts, limitations, and then the conclusion. So, coming to the introduction, the virtual synchrony replication model is fundamental concept in distributed computing, specifically in the field of fault-tolerant and reliable distributed systems. It's a communication and coordination paradigm that aims to provide a consistent and ordered view of the system state across all participating nodes. Um, the model is widely used in building fault-tolerant distributed systems, ensuring that the nodes in a distributed system have a synchronized and coherent view of events. And also, it is developed in the late 1980s by Kenneth P. Berman, who did research in Cornell University. So, coming to the brief history, as I've mentioned before, in 1980s, late 1980s, Kenneth B. Berman started the research in the Cornell University, where the virtual synchrony model got its start. So after that, the idea of group communications and replication in distributed system has roots in research from the 70s and 80s. So there are research papers, the process group approach to reliable distributed computing by the scientist Kenneth B. Berman. That would later evolve into the virtual synchrony model. So the emergence, you can call the emergence of virtual synchrony. So the term virtual synchrony was introduced in the paper Virtual Time and Global States of Distribution System. So the virtual synchrony emerged in a distributed computing environment. That had been formed by earlier research, and ISIS, which is a theoretical tool proposed by Leslie Lampert's paper. And it was a very fundamental theoretical approach. And later on, by the Fisher, Lynch, and Patterson, according to their findings, the theoretical approach, the replicated state machine, actually is just theoretical and not practical. So they also found out that the asynchronous fault-tolerant consensus was shown to be impossible by their findings. So no genuine system can implement a state machine. And also, another is that there is no real system that build a reliable failure detector. And later on, systems like Argus, clouds were proposed. So the fundamental idea of this study was the transactional model, which could give the world of object-oriented programming. Going to next, I would like to discuss about the ISIS. So ISIS toolkit is the inter-process communication system. So the concept of virtual synchrony gained significant traction through the development of the ISIS toolkit. So it was a middleware designed to support distributed applications. The ISIS toolkit was built on the principle of virtual synchrony model and a way to create process groups that communicated using the virtual synchrony paradigm. It allowed processes to send messages to groups and ensured that correct process of messages were delivered. And in the group, they saw the same order of the messages. So I would also like to discuss about the spread toolkit. The spread toolkit was developed by John and some other researchers. They extended the idea of ISIS. So the virtual synchrony model and ISIS together uh, form a spread toolkit. So it became very popular as an open source middleware for building fault tolerant distributed systems. Spread provided enhanced features for group communications and messages ordering while being used in various applications ranging from distributed databases to real-time systems. Now, so the concept of virtual synchrony, I think I've already discussed it before. So the theoretical foundation for the model was established in this study. We can call it the replicated state replicated. Here are the key concepts. So there are three main key concepts for the virtual synchrony model, which are groups, view synchronization, and message ordering. So for the groups, the processes are grouped together and use multicast communication to communicate with each other. To coordinate. View synchronization is a technique that ensures that has a consistent understanding of the status and composition of the system. For fault tolerance to be achieved, this is very essential. And coming to the message ordering, I think we already discussed about this, that the virtual synchrony ensures that in a synchronized environment, that the processes within the group get messages in the same order. Now coming to the real world applications and implementations, a number of real world applications and systems were created on the idea, virtual synchrony model, but the ISIS system, the Horus system, they both were created at Cornell University. These are the real applications, the examples of the virtual synchrony model. Continued research and impact. So, model and the concept is based on significant contribution to the study of distributed systems. The model concepts have affected current research development in the fields of distributed databases. So it has some influence too. So the concepts and the principles of the model continue to influence the design and implementation of fault-tolerant distributed systems, while specific implementations like the ISIS tool and the spread tool might have seen less active development and underlying ideas that have contributed to the fields of understanding reliable communication, replication, and coordination in the distributed environments. Coming to the difficulties, the disadvantages. So, model has a lot to offer in terms of fault tolerance and coordination. There are some difficulties, like it might face difficulties in the performance. There would be performance differences and scalability to guarantee complete synchrony in the face of network partitions. Coming to the conclusion, overall, the history of virtual synchrony replication model highlights its significance in enabling construction of robust and dependable distributed systems, even in the face of failures and network challenges. So the development of fault-tolerant distributed system was significantly aided by the synchrony model. The model. Its focus on offering a dependable framework for communication and coordination established the foundation for later research and development in the area. So I would like to end my presentation here. I hope this video, the presentation helps you and to gain information, to have the history, to know about the model and what exactly, a brief idea on the virtual synchrony replication model. Thank you so much.